Okay, this is the long side of the camper. I have the wood glued on, and I just trimmed the edges there with the router. And in case you're wondering if you're using a trim router, what happens if that bearing should seize up? This also a downside of using a plastic material for a frame. The bearing seized up, and as it spun, of course, generated heat and melted right into the plastic, causing those. Fortunately, this is part of the wheel well, so it'll be completely covered. No one will ever see that until they take it apart in about 30 years or so, 30, 40 years. There's the other corner that was trimmed. Now this is ready for me to do a little bit of prep work, and then some sanding and some staining. And then this section will be done as well. One of the things that I didn't get recorded last year was the assembly of these panels, which are part of the camper, the sides in particular. This is the upper part of the front and back. Bottom part is a little bit smaller. As you can see, I've got these all glued together, and with the help of some screws on the end, or some nails at times. On the other side, I stained it with what is called Blue Hawaii stain from Minwax, I believe it is. And we've been getting some pretty good results with those. But that's how those go on. And after that is done, I put a sheet of aluminum. It's basically aluminum flashing that gets glued, and this one's been sitting here for 24 hours, so I'm about to take it up and take a look at it. And this is the long piece, the side without the door. Now this just overlaps the ends just a little bit, enough to fold it over. There will be a cutout where the wheel well is. A piece that I've done some more work on already is this part that goes between the front of the trailer and the door. As you can see, we've got that bent over. There are aluminum channels that go along the top of the base and the inside of the door. This is where it's going to overlap the front piece along here, and then this is intended to fold over the bottom. Now there's a few pieces that do not have a flashing that I intend to buy to put on, or not flashing, but a trim piece. And when the other panel is cut, it will be shaped in a similar fashion in the front and in the back as well. This is the other side with the metal outside on. As you can see, this has been trimmed to fit around the wheel well. I know the original had circles, or a circular opening. I decided to go with a 45-degree cut. Also, you might notice I went ahead and put a trim in there. I used PVC plastic that is designed for siding and such, instead of actual wood, so that it would last a bit longer. This is going to be the top. This will be the rear of the camper at this end. And I've got the top bent over here. That will be better held in place by the trim that goes on there. Again, these will fold over the bottom, and that is the end where the door will be. And then of course this continues with the piece I showed you earlier. The other piece I will have trimmed here fairly soon around the wheel well, and ends like this. I'm going to have to figure out a little jig or something to do the front and backs, as that is obviously going around this, and I will need to have a solid piece of metal coming around that way, if you can imagine it coming out this way. And I'm not 100% sure exactly what that gap will come out to, so I'm going to have to do some figuring on that. By the way, that is insulation that I intend to use for the roof part, which is going to be next. And my intent is to have that all to assemble in the next week or so that I can go and put the camper together and put it away for winter and not be worried about having what happened last year. Because this is the second time that I have done these inner panels. Last time I didn't have the metal on them. There's some more scraps of stuff. This is the wood that is used for the interior. It is a very nice paneling. I believe I got those at Home Depot. No, Menards. Anyway, they probably both have them. But it's 1/4-inch plywood. Has a real nice finish on the one side that I went ahead and stained. And that's what that looks like when it's stained. And again, the inside of these is the PVC fake wood. Used 1x6, which is a little shorter than what the original had. It was a full 6 inches, which would have probably come out to about there. But the top and bottom pieces were only 1.25 inches, and these are more like 1.5 inches. So that works out a little bit more structure there than there was on the old one, but it's also lighter weight. And that's pretty much it for now. One more thing, here's the other long panel flipped over. I haven't done any cutting or trimming yet on this. Basically the bottom, I leave what's there. I trim around the wheel well and across the top and edges about 1 inch. And then the top and the wheel well will get folded over. The others will be left to extend out over the end of the where they join. And yeah, this one got a little small. Apparently when I cut my aluminum sheet, it was a little shorter than what I was wanting. Not my best staining work on this one. I think it was because I was trying to do the whole thing at once rather than work on pieces. But it's mostly covered by other things. The bench is at this end, coming up to about here, which means that there will be pillows there, except when the bed's made out, in which case you're not really looking at the side. And of course, there's the seam, because plywood only comes in 8-foot lengths, and we're about 10. So anyway, that's under the front counter, so doesn't matter. Okay.